Welcome to Lazy Reviews. Today I'll be talking about Never Back Down 2, the Beatdown from 2011. I filmed this video as a segment in a longer retrospective on Michael J. White's career, so that's why I'm focusing on him. I have not made a video on Never Back Down 1, and I will not be making videos on any of the movies that he's not in the franchise, so it's not going to be me covering the entire Never Back Down franchise, and it's going to be a relatively short and spoiler-free review, because the focal point is to give you an idea of whether or not you'd actually like to watch this movie yourself. So let's get started. This is a movie also not to say much about, because it's just quite a decent movie. That is very simple. Yes, sometimes very simple is very good. As we learned from Freaky Deak, as we learned from Vigilante Diaries, just having a simple premise, having a simple execution can be very effective. So what is Never Back Down to? So I've also seen the first Never Back Down. Michael J. White is not in it, so I'll not talk about it in this video. But it is a movie about mixed martial arts. The movie follows these four young people who all seem to be about college age. One of them is a freshman. It has one character from the previous movie, which is now an organizer of these mixed martial arts events, MMA events, and he's organizing the Beatdown at his school, where he has these different performers who are martial artists and beating each other up. It's a competition, it's a tournament. And it's a universe where mixed martial arts is the coolest thing in the world. There is a scene of a woman saying, oh, all these mixed martial arts, they're the real men. I really want to sleep with all of them. They're the hottest guys around. Nothing is better than mixed martial arts.
These guys are so hot. MMA is what boxing wishes it could be. Oh, I know, right? Ground and pound, baby. These guys could have me any day of the week.
I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what she's saying. So we live in a world where mixed martial arts is the best thing in the world. So we have four different characters that are all quite essential for the plot. There's this one character who is the main character. He's a freshman. I'll not spoil too much by saying that his father is a homosexual who recently came out and therefore left his family. His father is still very much in his life, but there seems to be a problem that he doesn't like his father. It's assumed in the beginning of the movie that he's ashamed of having a homosexual father, that he's homophobic, or that having a homosexual father would somehow make people think there's something wrong with him. And it is something people are, when they hear about it, they do harass him for it. Essentially, he was right in trying to keep it silent, because it is something that keeps, like, he gets bullied. Not that justifies bullying or anything, but that is what happens to them. He is bullied for having a homosexual father. The next character we have is someone who is already training. When the movie begins, he's already training to become a martial artist. He is from a poor background. His father is no longer in the life of the family. His mother is poor and resorts to stripping to earn money. And he has a lot of younger siblings. And he's just trying to raise the family and be the father figure to these children that they don't have themselves. He's a really lovable character. He's a huge guy. He looks intimidating, so it's very nice that they actually gave this very intimidating guy a big heart. He's definitely one of the most lovable characters in the movie. And other characters do end up causing drama and hating each other. He always stays quite clean. So he's a very nice character in the movie. He's very lovable. I do like him. Quite a well-fledged out character. What I will say, all these characters in the movies actually quite complement each other. They are all different personalities that all have their demons and learn how to overcome them or deal with them in their own way, while also finding this brotherhood together, this companionship. The third guy is this man who wants it all. He has already been involved. He has been a boxer, but after boxing too much, he gets a retinal detachment. Now, I have a retinal detachment myself. So when the movie started talking about retinal detachment and how this guy doesn't take it seriously, he still wants to fight even though there's a risk of him going blind, I was really invested in the movie, like, holy fuck, this is serious. Don't do it, man. Don't fight. You'll lose your eye, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. And he just, of course, keeps fighting because it's his choice to fight and risk going blind. That's not his only demon, but that's like his main issue, that he wants to be a martial artist, but essentially he'll go blind if he keeps doing it. And they keep, like, in the movie, that there's always this threat that if he's hit in the head too much, he'll go blind. So that's he has this retinal detachment. You actually don't get to know much about his character, but he is kind of a macho guy. He wants to be in boxing or in martial arts for women and fame and money. So I guess he's a vain guy. He's a pseudo-villain throughout much of the movie. There is a big clash between him and the lead protagonist because the lead protagonist gets interested in his girlfriend. That, of course, creates some problems in this dynamic, in this group dynamic. And then the fourth guy is this emo nerd working in a comic book store. Of course, it's a movie nerd, so he's a hunk. He's gorgeous. And he's being hunted down and beaten, and right before being beaten and stabbed, he's helped by Michael J. White and the chunky beefy guy, the one with by the poor mother. Because Michael J. White is a former MMA champion who now spends his spare time training these young people. Or actually, he was only training the big guy. He then takes on these other people to train them. And it becomes immediately obvious that the emo will turn bad. Because if there's one thing that movies do, especially movies from this time, is if you have a nerd who's suddenly giving a taste of power, they become assholes, become psychopaths. And that's what happens in the movie. There's essentially a lot I could touch on in this movie, but I think I gave you the big breakdown of the plot. There's a lot of problems with racist cops. It takes place in New Orleans after Katrina, so there's also that comes into the plot. I honestly don't want to say too much more about it. I think it has very, very, very good character arcs. It is very well paced. It has some very good fights. It is all you would expect from a mediocre to good martial arts movie. It's nothing spectacular. It's just a good time. A good time you can have with a bunch of people that you may grow to love. That's not to say that the movie doesn't have problems. There are a lot of conflicts in this group that seem to come out of nowhere. A lot of tension is created out of nowhere and it doesn't necessarily make sense. Some character motivation, some character decisions don't make sense. I mean, it has a few weird issues and quirks, but overall it's just a good movie. It does have Michael J. White kicking ass, but it's not the focus. So if you want a Michael J. White action movie where Michael J. White is the guy kicking ass, this is not really the movie for you. But if you do like martial arts movies that are very run-of-the-mill, but done well, I can fervently recommend Never Back Down 2. I think it's better than the first one, definitely. I think the whole group dynamic adds a lot to it. It's perfectly paced and overall a good movie. I think you should watch it. I'll move on. Thank you for watching. I hope you found it useful. Hope you have a nice day. Bye.